that give anyone a clue as to where we're going? That's the Humber Bridge. So yeah, guess where we're going? We're in Hull because we're going on that. Yeah. So we've forced our way inside our fetching survival gear. Other YouTubers here. We've got other YouTubers here.
Hi.
And Levy.
And I'm Levy.
Levy, who's now... And the next job is sorting out pizzas for tea. So we're getting an order ready. Daryl's got a sweat on already.
I have. Before?
No.
Not this size.
And
no.
after trying the outfits on, it's time to strip off. It's one of those kind of cruisers.
Well, we've got clothes on underneath.
That's now.
Surprise.
Yeah. The bunks. They're not quite hammocks, but they've got a solid base and a wall to keep you in. So we've just been sorting out where we want. Daryl's going underneath because it's a bit more, well, it's less of a hammock, and I'm up on the top bunk. A couple of more bunks towards the bow. Again.
To sort of get them to be better. Yeah. To then go, right, okay, we're going to train you to be the best that you can be in this situation. So.
Wonder how Dan will be keeping us all awake with his snoring. We'll see.
I've done the tour.
So, at the front of the boat, does anybody have an idea what this area might be called? Thinking what's in it?
A stool.
Correct, a store. So, this is our sail locker. So obviously we keep all our sails in here. We've got a tender and an outboard that we've just used. We've just been up to Hurley Island with 10 young people. So we dropped our anchor just near the island, blew up the tender and the outboard. Then we motored up in the tender. I will get there eventually onto the island, explored the island. It's great. So obviously we've got our big anchor at the front. Also on the right hand side corner there is a fire pump, just in case if we have a fire up on deck. There's a fire hose, just in case we can put them out. Also in the corner we have a fire extinguisher, just because we've got loads of electrical equipment in the corner. We've got loads of different sails for different conditions. Got some spinnaker sails. I'll talk to you when we go up on the deck about spinnakers. Loads of different lines. That's about it in here really. Quite a lot of equipment. So we can go sailing, hopefully, if the wind's alright. Also a fire exit as well, just above my head, and just some steps. So just in case if there's a fire in the kitchen you're using the heads to toilets, we'd use this fire exit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bit further back, these are your ensuite bathrooms, as you can probably tell. On a boat you've got to do quite a lot of pumping, it gets really annoying after a while. So if you do need the toilet in the night, these are some instructions. So you do what you need to do, you turn the valve anti-clockwise, pump 20 times, turn the valve clockwise, then pump till the bowl's empty. Please do not put no toilet roll or baby wipes down the toilet because it causes a blockage, which I may have to fix and I really don't want to. So there's some bins provided. Also, we've got our sink as well, and I'm afraid I've got to do some more pumping. So there's the handle, just goes in there, and we just pump it until it's empty. Okay.
So it's anti-clockwise first.
Yeah, some
instructions on there.
There you go. It's also a mirror, so you can look.
Wet yourself by
If you're in the morning,
No,
make
you
sure
can
you're
do it
looking
after,
really, really
I'm sure.
good. Okay. Bit further back, skipper's cabin. So when we're out sailing, the skipper will be in here, and maybe a crew member as well. This is mine in the first mate's cabin. You might be thinking, oh, they've got their own cabin, that's great. But the front of the boat really goes up. So yeah, I'm always banging my head. And as you can always hear people using their heads, which is really irritating. Yeah, we also have another fire extinguisher, just in this corner, just next to the mast. Because there's some more electrical equipment as well, just in case if there was a fire, we could hopefully put it out. So yeah, so if we could just go further back down the boat, go into the galley, the kitchen. So in here, obviously the galley, the kitchen. Normally on the young people's voyages, normally have a game of MasterChef, see who can cook the best food. It's quite useful because the hobs is on a gimbal, so you end up cooking your food and not wearing it. It's always really good. So the hob will always stay flat, and the boat will move around the hob. Got there eventually. Just some safety stuff in the galley, just for obviously for tomorrow as well, because we're on an enclosed boat. Gas safety. So when we're always next to the hob, probably don't need to worry too much because one of the staff will be down here. But just so you know, we always stay next to the hob when we've got the gas on, just in case if the wind shifts, the boat comes over, maybe a little spark that flies over and we could have a fire. Also we have 2 fire blankets, one up there and one up here as well, just in case if we do have a fire we just use our fire blanket. Also on the 12-week programme that we do a food hygiene qualification, so they do that before they come onto the boat, and we have a food preparation areas. So Dave, just want to point to that, just to where the fridge is.
This one is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just have a fridge there. So that is normally meant for raw meat. That's about it really. So raw meat comes straight into here, cut it up, straight into the pan, so we're not cross-contamination with different foods. Over in this area we'll have washed veg, and bread and dairy, and also unwashed veg in this area as well. We've got all different sorts of stuff in these cupboards. So just in this one here, just got cups and bowls, etc. Just different sort of tin stuff, chopped tomatoes. Got a lot of custard and rice pudding, if you fancy that tomorrow. Probably my cup of tea. Also, just more cling film, a lot of peanut butter, jam and marmalade and honey, all different sorts of stuff, and some more tins in there. Also in this cupboard here, just got some pans. It's like playing Tetris, trying to get them in when you're at 45 degrees, but it's all good fun. And this one is just extra tea, coffee, all different sorts of stuff in there, peppermint tea, and a lot of sauces. Also on the boat, we think it's really important for recycling, so we have a double bin here. The left one is just general waste, and the one on the right is recycling. If you are unsure what goes in the recycling, we do have a poster just on here. I know it's quite different on shore to the marina facilities. Also, if we're using the sinks as well, I'm really afraid more pumping. So the pump's just underneath the right hand side locker. Okay. If you are using the hob, I'll show you how to use it. So we do have 2 valves. See the 2 valves here? Just there? So the one on the left is for the cooker, the one on the right is for the hob. If it's in a straight line, it means it's on. So all we do, just grab a match. Just hold it in for about 5 seconds and it should stay on. After we've used the match, make sure that we've always thrown it underneath some cold water, just so the bin doesn't set on fire. And then after you've finished, just turn it off, and the matches go back in its box. And back in. Happy? Yeah.
You didn't pump that water then?
It's pumped. It's pumped.
Oh, did you pressurise it?
Yeah, it's pumped. Yeah. It's just probably a little bit just sat in the.
It's just not. It's not manual all the time then.
Yeah. It's, if you've got, so say if you do fill up the sinks, so even if you don't put a plug in, if there's already water in the pipes, and you don't put a plug in, the water will still stay in the sink.
You've
Don't
got
make
to pump,
it too
you have to
tight.
pump it to remove
Yeah,
it as
pump it
well.
away, yeah, a lot of pumping.
I
Just a lot
know,
of
but,
pumping.
You're just thinking about the van, aren't you?
Yeah.
And obviously just the area behind you, the saloon. So before we normally, as Dave is lovely demonstrating what we do in the saloon. So normally on a youth voyage, the first night we'll all sit round here, 18 people, believe it or not, elbow to elbow, like this. We all have our first meal, and it's such a good opportunity to speak to them, see what they want. I had one kid on the last trip last week, said, "Oh, this is great, I've never done this before. Never sat around a table eating a meal. Felt like being a part of something, which was absolutely amazing." Also, when we do get to shore, I will teach them the competent crew. So it's like your second sailing qualification that you get. So you just treat somebody, they know you're competent on a boat. So we sort of go through points of sail, which you'll probably learn a little bit about tomorrow. Knots, flares, manners and customs, flags, all different sorts of stuff. And so what we normally do is on a longer voyage we work on a watch system, so the boat's always sailing. So during the day we'll do 4 hours on and 4 hours off. From midnight till 9 o'clock we'll do 3 hours on and 3 hours off. So if you don't want to go to bed and you're off watch, sit in this area, read a book, play cards. We've got a bit of Jenga, but I won't recommend it obviously. So yeah, so we've also got some first aid equipment as well. It's got a first aid box, and then in the cabins, because we are a CatZero boat, we have some really high medical kit just to help. Help if anybody is unwell, or you know. And just in the lockers there, as always, got some more food. It's on the right, tons of bread, absolutely loads of stuff, and then some pasta, all different sorts of stuff.
We don't have a pizza oven, by the way.
Working on it. Try to put it in, but keeps getting denied. I'm afraid.
Those across.
Just want to go to the area just where Pete is at the moment. Let's go through some, go through that area there.
Broken his speech up like
The smell of food is going to put him off now.
Be as quick as I can, don't worry. This food is here.
So it's the chart room.
So just in that corner there, just all the navigation equipment. So normally what we run on 2 systems. So we will have an electronic computer, which will, so we've just got a chart up there, and that shows us our position, and it shows us other boats that are in the area. If that fails, we also have the charts that are just on the table there. Also have a radar, a VHF, which is just like a radio, so we can communicate with different boats, different people. Also have Navtex in the corner there, so if it was out of range of VHF, so the radio, you would get a forecast just straight onto that system. It's really hard to read, it's like reading gibberish or a different language. Also have an emergency phone there, and also a sat phone just in the corner there. Say if it was out of range of VHF or mobiles or anything like that, we can use a sat phone. So all the sat phone does, it has a signal from the boat straight up to a satellite, then the signal goes from the satellite to the person you're trying to contact. Okay. Also in this area just behind David, it's called our wet locker. So this is where we keep all our life jackets, all our red kit, our foul weather gear. We also have in here is what's called a day tank. So this boat does carry 2 tons of diesel, 2,000 litres, in 4 different tanks. So what we do is we pump the diesel from the tank that you want on into the day tank. Just so.
Say 2,000 litres?
Yeah, 2,000 litres we carry. Yeah, it's the same as water as well. 2 tons of water and 2 tons of diesel. Quite a lot. Yeah, it normally lasts us about 6 months.
Wow.
So they fill up twice a year. So what we do is pump it from the tank into the day tank. So that allows us to monitor how much diesel we've got, because unfortunately we don't have gauges on the tanks. So we can so we can sort of find out how much diesel we've got. So if we keep pumping and nothing's coming through, we've got all the tanks open, if it's full we know we've got about 12 hours of diesel of motor power to get to shore and fill up. Alright. Also we've got our main companionway steps, also another fire exit if you was in this area and there was a fire in the kitchen, the galley or the saloon or anywhere on the boat, we could go up these steps. Okay, so when I come into this area here, so normally for the youth stuff, this is where this would be the female side of the boat. So obviously we've got 5 bunks in this area for females, and then also we've got 2 staff bunks at the back. All these boxes here for the personal equipment, and if you've noticed, we've got these bulkhead doors. So say if this area was underwater, say if there's water in here, we could shut them doors and the boat would still float. Oh, okay. So we could still sail and go to a port, get everybody off and repair the boat.
Even if this was flooded?
Yeah, so say if you shut all the doors, and there's also valves underneath the floorboards, shut all them, there's no water coming in here, this could be right up the water full, it'd still float, and we'd also got some more fire extinguishers just behind the doors, we've got some more less stuff in here. It's exactly the same on the other side, but there's some more safety equipment at the back. Just got another fridge at the back as well. So obviously the one in the saloon is for raw meats. The one at the back is for cooked meats. Could be for dairy. Could be for all different sorts of stuff. Lots of Galley bread. Also another fire exit as well up here. To say if you're off watching, you're asleep and you hear someone screaming at the top of the lungs, fire in the kitchen, we'd use this fire exit. Right. Also, after we've eaten, I'll do a tour up on the deck as well. There's some life rafts. So a life raft is say if the boat's sinking and we need to abandon the ship. They're literally big inflatable tents. Not really nice to be in, but they will save our lives. So if we did need to get in a life raft, these are grab bags. We take these into a life raft. So there's immersion suits. So say if someone did go in the water and they're freezing, chance of hypothermia, we'd take them out of the clothes, stick them in an immersion suit, and really warm. Also flashlights in there, a little bit of first aid kit, just to sort of help us when we are in the life raft. In the life raft we also do have, so sometimes it's inflated, there's loads of equipment in there. Definitely a lot of anti-sea sickness tablets and absolutely loads of stuff in there. Okay, it's exactly the same this side, but obviously this is going to be the male side, so your young people are on the programme forward. Staff at the back. That's why we have these little curtains here just for privacy. And then we also have one down here for male and females.
So this is the CatZero at night. It's about 10:30 at night. We're in the harbour. All's quiet. You'll see better in the morning, but tomorrow morning, Keith's climbing. The mast. 95 feet high. Another view. She's a beauty. Tomorrow morning we're up at 5:30 and then we'll sail with the tide. I've got a little bit of trepidation, I don't know what I'm going to be like, but at the same time I'm looking forward to it. And again, another view of that mast that Keith's going to climb, and hopefully Jacob's with us, he's going to climb it too if he gets a chance. That's pretty high.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna